Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Ho, ho, ho. All right, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to go ahead and give some really cool insights of what's going on with the healthcare space. What am I thinking about? I have a really cool video to show you on CNBC. The first one is more cooler than the second one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And by the time you walk out of this, you're gonna you're gonna basically marry me, right? So okay, so I'm just kidding. I'm gonna stop this sharing of screen here. I'm gonna share a non-audio screen. I want to just catch you up on this here, okay? So this is a graph, like no shit, right? It's a graph, right? And there are 4 different healthcare insurer companies here. Okay, there's Humana, which we hate. I'm just kidding, right? It's our competitor. United Healthcare, which is like Kobe Bryant. I don't know if we'll ever get next to Kobe, This is more like Steve Nash, I'm just kidding. For folks that know Phoenix Suns, yeah, you guys know. Clover Health, of course. Here. How you doing, Patrick? What's going on? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Then we have Alignment Health, ALHC. And then we have the year-to-date returns, okay? So this is the percentage return, okay? So you would think Clover is last because we're always last, right? We're like the losers of healthcare, right? We're just like we're like the bottom caste system, right? You'd actually be surprised. We're actually coming in second. We're losing in second place. Everyone, but here's the thing though. Everyone else is losing, but we're losing in second place. Let's I wish I had a little button I can clap when everyone's like, yeah, golf clap. Yes, my friend. My friend is suggesting something very, very important. And I agree with you. So what I'm going to do to answer your question, your wish is my command. Bada bing, bada boom. Yes, smart money's coming back online, right? Smart money's taking advantage of whatever's happening here. Maybe smart money is coming into Humana. I don't know, but I need to do an intrinsic value calculation on Humana. But if you look at Humana, it is kind of rebounding here. We do see a 5% gain. But again, they're about to have earnings. So I think it might fall back down. Again, it's a very volatile time right now. But just to respond to the question here, there it is. Smart money versus dumb money. There you go. But what I want to talk about here, I want to come back here. Okay, guys. So Clover is in orange. Now, why isn't Clover green? United Healthcare is green. I'm sorry. I wanted to make it that way, but I didn't. Maybe one day we'll become United Healthcare green, but United Healthcare stole the show. So United Healthcare, so they're all down. Here's a 0. We're below 0, right? United Healthcare is down like negative 18%. Clover's down around negative something percent to 22, 23%. And then United Humana, which is in third place, is down around 35%. And then Alignment Healthcare is down, more than 40%. So again, Clover is second place, Humana is third place, and Alignment Healthcare is fourth place. That's actually pretty damn good, guys, right? We're not again, listen, guys, okay? Wall Street's not stupid, okay? Wall Street's not stupid. In fact, Clover was actually in the lead for a good, for almost a good 2 months. We were winning. We were kicking some booty. And then we just basically dropped, right? And that's, I think, when the CMS happened. That's when they basically didn't revise. And then all hell broke loose probably, right? So, but, Wall Street's not stupid. Wall Street's looking at this data. I'm not the only person to look at this data, okay? So something's happening right now. The ground is shifting before our eyes. I don't know if you feel it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just have a lot of gas. I don't know, right? But I feel something, okay? I feel it, right? And the difference between these feelings are grounded by math. So they have a high probability of coming true. So in this video, we're going to go back to this one here, and we're going to comment on what this lady has to say, Mrs. Bertha Coombs, on what's going on with the health insurance market. And hopefully Miss Bertha can talk about the birth of Clover. See what I did there? Terrible jokes. Terrible dad jokes. Terrible. Okay, so let's go ahead and share the screen here. Just stick to my analysis, right? So let's go ahead and here, and I'm gonna go ahead and mute, and then hopefully you guys hear it. Let me just turn on the volume here. Okay, let's go.
Shares of health insurers tumbling across the board. It's not all about the red tape today. Let's get to Bertha Coombs with more on what's driving that action. Hi, Bertha.
Hi, Carl. Usually the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid revises its advance notice for what kind of rates they're going to pay for Medicare Advantage. They usually revise them to a higher level in the final notice. Not this time. For 2025, CMS last night says that it's maintaining its outlook of a 3.7% payment increase.
So essentially, normally CMS revises upwards because Humana and United Healthcare be like, Mommy, Daddy, we can't do this. Can you please give us more money, please? And this time CMS said, shut the hell up. Get in your place. And then United Healthcare and Humana is like, what? But Mom, what's going on? Yeah, they didn't revise upwards. And I'll explain to you my thought process, okay? So these lobbyists now are pissed. And I'm just surprised that this happened. It's different. It's different.
On average for Medicare Advantage plans. Now, analysts say that rates effectively amounts to a 16 basis point cut for next year when you add in other factors. Last month, Humana calculated that the impact for its plans would be effectively a 1.6% cut, and Humana's already struggling with high medical costs. Analysts say,
yeah, so let me basically give you some perspective here. Humana dropped hard because they had a increase in medical cost, right? This is like the first punch, okay? CMS had nothing to do with that, right? The second punch, CMS came and said, oh, you're in pain? Let me help you. Well, let me go ahead and not up-revise the CMS. And that's the second hit for Humana. So remember, Humana is fighting two different wars here. The first war is increase in medical cost. Again, guys, we've been very, very descriptive of what we meant by increasing costs. There are a lot more older people now than there was 10 years ago. There are essentially more heavy utilizers of healthcare, especially after COVID. We expect to see more healthcare utilizations for the next 5 years at least. And about 10,000 Americans are turning over 65 years old. And the new healthy patients don't have enough money to offset the sick ones. So we have to actually practice medicine here. Go figure. Okay. Yeah, you could tell where I am in healthcare, right? And I haven't even gone out to start practicing. I don't even know how global-minded human is still walking right now in the healthcare system. Like, what the hell, dude? You're a very strong guy. It's like when you do something over again and expect a different result, it's to maintain a pure insanity. And here we are doing the same thing in healthcare, expecting a different outcome. Jesus Christ. Okay, so what's happening here now is Humana's battling two wars, and she's about to blabber on and say a lot of great things. But then I apologize for being rude here. Okay, she's saying great things, right? And I like her earrings. Okay, so the end of the video is actually something really important that goes in line with what Andrew Toy was saying. Okay, very important, very, very. Are you ready for this? Let's go.
That Humana is struggling as well with tough competition and premiums and higher costs this year, and will likely need to cut its 2025 outlook. United Health, meantime, also a major MA player, taking a hit this morning, a big drag on the Dow. But United Health also has an advantage over its peers with 90,000 doctors on its other side. It can more easily control medical care costs.
And it's so sad because United Healthcare is, they're okay because they have all these doctors. And it's so sad because it's the doc. Okay. Well, as someone who's going to be a doctor, this pisses me off. Okay. And for all the doctors that are listening, like, I want to hear your thoughts. Am I just feeling this feeling alone? But I just want to I want to express myself right now. Okay. She just basically said United Healthcare is okay because they got 90,000 doctors, right? To basically gives them an advantage. You know, and you know what's sad about those 90,000 doctors? Most likely they're underpaid. They get rejected a lot for prior authorizations, and they are mistreated by the healthcare system. Okay. And it's so sad that these mistreated doctors that are on the front lines, they are themselves the advantage that is what's giving the moat for United Healthcare. I just wish doctors woke up and realized how strong and powerful they are together. But again, like when I'm in the hospital, like I see a bunch of doctors tattling upon each other to admin. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, oh, like come together, work together. Right. But again, I don't think that's going to happen. And you know what's funny? They almost want to create a divide. I feel like when I say they, I mean like kind of the whole healthcare administration. It's almost like they want to have a divide between different specialties so that we're distracted with each other from within, the war from within, that we just basically forget that we have administration that is basically just destroying our healthcare system. But be that as it may, that was a tangent. Just, this is emotional for me because, I get, I just, these incumbents, I want them, I want them to go away, right? I want these incumbents to get disrupted. They've been in the game for a long time. Okay. It's time for change. And I'm going to talk to you about that right now. So, they have their own advantage with all these doctors. Okay. Now, Clover's actually doing the same thing too with the nurses and also the doctors that are helpful with Clover. So I think Clover's building that moat too with their home health care, which is in the second video. We'll go a little bit on that. Okay. So that home health care is very, very valuable. You guys don't understand how valuable that home health care is. It's a hidden gem. Okay. Well, let's continue.
CVS Health's Aetna also now has more of its own doctors after acquiring Oak Street Health. Cigna is the least impacted.
Which we talked about it, the Oak Street Health. We talked about that in a long time video.
Because it is in the process of selling its small Medicare Advantage business. But this comes at a time when medical costs are elevated among seniors, hospitals and doctors raising their rates, and the Medicare Advantage market incredibly competitive. So insurers really risk losing market share if they actually raise premiums too high.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. All right, this is why I made the video. What did she say? I'm going to repeat it, just in case people weren't paying attention.
Market share if they actually raise premiums too high, incredibly competitive. So insurers really risk losing market share if they actually raise premiums too high to try to maintain margin. So it's very tricky.
Ding, 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 ding. Ready? They have to essentially raise their premium prices, which then will decrease market share. You think people are going to choose them if they raise prices? Do you really think you're going to pick an HMO plan? Do you really think you can over a PPO plan that's cheaper? Are you kidding me? So you remember when Andrew Toy said something? He said that as our competitors pull back, we're going to ram them up the competitive advantage, right? You remember that, guys? Do you remember that or no? When Andrew Toy said, when our competitors leave, we're going to double down. Guys, listen, guys. I am so freaking excited. You don't understand. Like, I went into medicine. I'm kind of a weird position. I'm going to subspecialize, but like, I feel like I have the heart of a family doctor, right? It's kind of weird like that, right? Because everything I do is kind of preventative. I try to like do the food program and all this stuff, right? This is something that I've been wanting to happen for such a long time. You have no freaking idea. You understand how many years of just all the freaking work social determinants of health and everything. Finally, I'm starting to see change. And it's so cool because we get to make money off of this change. I just hope that Clover doesn't turn to the evil in which it wants to replace. That would piss me off. Let's go ahead and go through the comments real quick. Keep up the good work. It really helps those of us looking at our accounts every day with with a frown. Is this frown same as your picture? I love that. I love dogs, by the way. Yes, insurance companies and corporate healthcare systems, United Optum, definitely want to control physicians. Yeah, and Medikill. By the way, Brad is an emergency medicine doctor. So medical decision making, which is not always aligned with patient interests. Of course not. They don't even, it's funny. When I was doing my pediatric rotation, I was speaking to a couple of physicians, and they were saying that, they're talking to admin, and they're saying that, okay, so evidence-based medicine guidelines says that we need to practice this way. And then the admin is like, okay, so how are we going to do it? And then we're like looking at them. We're like, what do you mean how you're going to do it? We're a teaching hospital. We practice evidence-based medicine, right? Like, what? There isn't your way. Like, this is not old school medicine, man. Right? So again, there's a lot of frustration, and I'm starting to understand this frustration, and I don't understand how doctors are keeping their cool. And hopefully our generation speaks up and doesn't, just changes things. But most likely I'm probably gonna have to stay quiet because they always like to shut us down. Because how all these doctors took Hippocratic, they all took an oath, and then they're dealing with this, so there has to be something in which doctors that speak up get crushed. I think, right? But I hope that I hope that there is a change. I hope, and if not, I think doctors are going to be stepping out of these systems and hopefully creating their own. I think hospitals, I think doctors need to be able to create their own hospital systems, and CMS and the government needs to figure out a way to stop competitors from stopping doctors from forming their own hospitals rather than stupid. I'm not saying clinics are stupid, but we need to form our own hospital, right? We need to form our own physician-led. Again, totally out of scope of what I'm trying to discuss here. But again, I'm very passionate about this because I am in healthcare. It's not like I'm just a guy who's investing in health. I'm in this garbage of a system that's supposed to be taking care of my society, of my community, and it's not doing its job. So it pisses me off. Anyhow, so I'm retired, would never consider a advantage plan. Interesting. For myself or wife, we pay for supplemental, but own way too much Clove percentage wise as I average now. Interesting why you don't pick an advantage plan, because the 0 monthly premiums, you have the dental, the vision, all these different things. It's pretty good. Groceries. I'm curious. I remember what? Remind me, please remind me. What do you remember? Because I don't remember. Because I don't remember. Get involved, donate. Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm going to end up doing as I progress along my career. The thing is, you have to do it in such a sustainable way, and I hope in the future my connections with these companies, hopefully, we can build something that we'll be able to, so like, for example, street medicine, that's something I'm interested in. But again, that doesn't really it tackles a big chunk, but this is a big issue. And this goes back to high school cafeteria food. Like, why is Coca-Cola and Pepsi allowed to sell their products in high school? I mean, it's complete bullshit, right? All right. So, okay. So I guess let's finish this one off. I think there's a couple seconds. There's nothing really interested here, but
guys, as they start looking out here to their 2025 plans.
Okay, yeah. So we went ahead.
Let's bring in Matt Bryce.
All right, be quiet. Okay, so I went ahead and pretty much basically talked about this. So this is done. The next video, again, so the big takeaway here for people that are just joining, the big takeaway here is that yes, they're going to be pulling back, and as they pull it, as they pull back, you're going to get more of Clover coming in, and I do think that they're going to have to either pull back, decrease growth, or increase premium costs. And if we know if they increase premium costs, what's going to happen, guys? Clover's going to win because their PPO plan is cheap. I mean, so, right? So, and then just wait until we get 3.5 or 4, and even like 4.5 stars. Just wait till we get to higher star ratings. What do you think is going to happen then? Again, this is a very long-term play, guys, and I really think we're getting closer. Now, here's this other video I want us to share, and I want to talk with. We're going to go ahead and play this up to speed here real quick. So get ready. We're going to make this go fast here, okay?
Sit in San Francisco, and a lot of the VCs and founders I talk to believe that healthcare is one of the most exciting spaces for AI disruption. Where are we seeing that disruption now at the earlier stages, and what's the opportunity?
Yeah, great to be with you. I think we're going to see it all over healthcare, both on the demand side, how consumers and employers interact with healthcare, and on the supply side, how we deliver healthcare more efficiently. Healthcare is a fifth of the economy, close to a fifth of the economy in the US, about 11% of GDP globally. So it's a massive opportunity. And really, consumers are struggling getting access to care. And then on the supply side, we're having a struggle finding labor and clinicians to get easy access.
So he said a couple things right now. He pretty much basically said, for the lady said that, everyone wants to get into healthcare because, guys, listen, healthcare is a freaking dinosaur. You understand me? Like, there's like innovation in healthcare is so freaking slow. Like, we get to do some really cool stuff, but guys, listen, like, it's slow. It's like dinosaur. Like, if you go in the healthcare system and see how we basically maneuver things, we're still freaking faxing things. I like that's some BS. Okay. So there's a lot of innovation about to happen. He just basically said that it's hard to find people and doctors that are willing to X, Y, and Z in the AI healthcare space. Well, Clover's fixing that. Okay. Now, very quickly, let me go ahead and go through these comments in order. Imagine you had 500 million in your pocket and someone appraised your life worth 350. You have a billion business that's about to be profitable and 500 million cash in hand, somehow worth only 350. Exactly. Edmund, you got it. You're not focused on the stock price. You're focused on the whole thing. You got it, my friend. Now extend that with free cash flow and intrinsic value calculation, and you're there. Or get involved in activities and advocacy. So here's the thing, man. So when I was doing my internal medicine rotation, I was furious. I was very furious. Healthcare was not being provided at a high level. I was told, so I took it in my own hands and I started basically calling all of the homeless shelters. Again, you know my story, so I get this, this is very emotional for me. I called all the homeless shelters because the patient needed oxygen, right? And if the patient does not get oxygen, they will die. Of course, what's a disease? COPD, right? Supplemental oxygen is life-saving treatment, right? And there's some the exacerbations the patient had. It was a lot. The healthcare system would not allow to give O2 supplemental oxygen to the patient because the patient didn't have a home, and you needed a home to be delivered to oxygen. They can't deliver it next to the Taco Bell or between the Taco Bell and Jack in the Box, right? So we needed to find a place for that patient to be. So I was told by a resident that, Albert, you can't spend this money. And I get it. I know where the resident's coming from, right? Nothing against the resident. It's just, this is the reality. The resident went through the emotions I went through, right? It's just, I'm a medical student. They're a resident. I have extra time, right? Screw extra studying. You know what I mean? Most medical students say, I got to study. I'm in clinicals. I take my clinicals seriously. I can study at home. Okay. So the resident said, you can't do this for every patient. You got other patients to take care of. I'm like, no, actually, I have 2. You have other patients to take care of. Let me take care of my people, right? You give me 2, let me take care of my 2. And sometimes I get 3, right? They keep it low for medical students. Again, you want to do 1 right and 2 right, not rather than, mess up. So I went ahead and I called every homeless shelter, every this. And it got to a point where it just, nobody was helping me, right? And I got really annoyed. And then the attending saw me struggle. And the attending he saw my story. He knows about my story. So he made me very happy. He pushed back against social care management, right? And he pushed back hard, and he said, no, this is not standard of care. And he made them work. Again, social workers are overworked, but he made them, work extra, like what physicians normally do, we go above beyond our job description is, because that's just what we do, because we're the captain, we're driving the ship, right? There's nobody ahead of us. We're leading the ship. So regardless of, like when the ship goes down, the captain, goes down with it. Ultimately the patient got a home. But if I didn't press, the patient would have been discharged back outside, and Lord knows what would have happened to the COPD, right? So again, guys, yeah, so I try my best to do that. And I hope to do it more in neurosurgery. I'm going to see kind of what are the needs are once I do more of the sub eyes. But yeah, it's a battle, man. But that resident is right. It's no against the resident. The resident's right. You can't do this for all patients. There has to be a fix, but the fix needs to be preventative, which why I like Clover, because it's preventative medicine, right? Let's see here. Remember what Andrew Toy said? Oh, and then I spoke to Dr. I shouldn't say her name, but the clerkship director, and I told her I'm like, this is why I can't choose internal medicine. It'll kill me. I can't. It'll kill me. And I got the same thing with psychiatry. They were telling me they're like, you'll realize that you really can't. You're not doing any good sometimes. So that's why with surgery, it's kind of a fake facade. It's not really fake. I mean, you're removing blood from someone's brain and they get to live. So you get that instant gratification. And, I guess my brain works is, I guess, I like that. So that's kind of why I chose the surgery, right? So remember what Andrew Toy said about the competitors and double. Exactly. Oh, there, you remember that. Oh, good. Okay. Now I know. Okay. Because yeah, they remember they were saying, I remember. Exactly. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry. Let's go here. I'm 18, have 4,800 shares, Clove around 77 cents. Oh, damn, dude. AF. That is good. Average funded by my summer job last year, planning to add more. 18 years old, guys. 18 years old. Imagine the compounding on that if the next 30 years, if Clover becomes what I think it'll become. Damn. Right? Think about it, man. 77 cents. Look at United Healthcare from way back when in 1984. Okay, so it was like 14 cents, right? So I thought you said in your last video not to listen to CNBC. Well, no, I mean it's true. Don't listen to CNBC. I agree, but when it comes to well, here's the thing. They're saying what is needed to happen, but they're not giving you what is there to make money. Like all this talk of AI in healthcare, and not one time do they mention Clover Health, right? So that's what I mean by I'm not listening. But again, the reason why I like to look at them is because they are a prognostic indicator. By the time you hear it, it's already too late. Does that make sense? So it's again, what Denzel Washington said is, if you don't listen to the media, you're uninformed. If you listen to the media, you're misinformed. So it's a balancing act. So that's my response to you. The only time I ever listen to CNBC is when I'm on a treadmill, because they do not have Fox Business. Fox Business. I love it. You talk about Toy over on Capitol Hill. Yes. So here's Capitol Hill right here. Oh wait, I'm going to show that later. Hold on. Good on you, Al. Now you see why physicians need to take the lead again and change our system. It also means we need to advocate for housing security and city. Well, yeah, exactly. And the thing is, we need to start educating our first off, doctors also need to start to learn more about business. They need to learn more about immigration. They need to learn about military. The reason why is because these types of doctors that understand these things have the ability to run for office and then be able to take care of all the other bullshit that's involved with taking care of office, but have a keen understanding in healthcare and be able to regulate the healthcare space. It's just the problem is doctors are so triangly orientated that you need a fully rounded person to get into these laws and then be kind of dirty a little bit to talk to hedge funds to get money to be able to feed the rich. But then be able to kind of focus on what you want to do, which is the healthcare thing. But that requires a skill that unfortunately a lot of doctors don't have. And I don't want to do it, man, because it's freaking it's terrible, dude. It's like the people I got when I got 40 under 40 in Tucson, Arizona, I saw the people the politicians. I went to a political gathering, and I'm like, these are the people that I'll be debating. The IQ again. The last time we had smart presidents was back in the 60s and 70s, way back when. Nowadays, I don't want to get political. They're not as smart. All the smart folks start companies. Okay, so I appreciate the roaring kitty of Clove. Yeah, roaring kitty. Honestly, I love cats. But I'm a dog person now. But it's kind of stupid because like my so like my picture is of a lion for our stock trade. So I guess it is a cat. It's just, my lion will kill roaring kitty's cute kitty. I'm just kidding. Okay. Sup, bro? How you doing? Al, tomorrow CPI. Yes. So I think tomorrow CPI is going to be cold. I could be wrong, but I'm looking at Europe and Germany's CPI reports. They came out under expectation, and I think we're good there, right? So, and Al, we trust. No, guys. I want you to trust in yourselves. Take everything I say with a grain of salt and question everything I say, because ultimately, guys, the whole point of the guy. Listen, guys, the whole point of this channel is to teach you guys about intrinsic value calculation. Again, you could see investing takes a while, right? I do believe Clover is going to make it. I really do, right? And we'll watch this video right now here, and then we'll explain why. So let's go ahead here.
Automating a lot of healthcare is going to be really, really important as we head into the next decade.
Now, traditionally, though, healthcare has been a really tough industry to disrupt. We've seen the tech giants try and do so, from Amazon to Apple to Google with Verily. Is that changing? How is that going to change in the age of AI?
I think it is changing because I think we've learned something in these last few years with the first batch of, if you will, digital disruptors. In healthcare, we often have to disrupt from within. We have to understand that we have commercial insurance and governmental programs, Medicare and Medicaid. We have FDA, we have privacy concerns. So as we apply technology, we need to overlay this technology on top of this infrastructure. And we're seeing a batch of companies do that now. Just as an example, I'm involved with a company, Ezra, that uses AI to accelerate MRI scans, so reduces time in scanners, and it's received FDA clearance. Or these other couple of companies, Octave, which connects people with therapists who take insurance. And recently at Cigna's Investor Day, they announced that big.
Yeah, I'm connected with this company called Octave. They connect patients with healthcare providers for mental health. Isn't that what Clover's doing? Isn't that am I smoking something, guys? Isn't that what Clover's doing? Aren't they doing something with Quartet? That's why I told you guys we're headed in the right direction, but for some reason no one's talking about it. But yet you see institutions like Renaissance Technology start accumulating. So, oh yeah, I already talked about my prediction, but I'll say it again. So I think CPI report's going to come cold tomorrow, which means that it's going to come under expectation, which is good. Which is going to prove that inflation is falling like a rock. However, the reason why I believe that it's supported by data. It's because Germany and Europe CPI report came down low. So I think it's going to happen for USA as well. January and February was a seasonality effect if you follow some top economists. So that's my, I could be wrong, but that's my speculation, right? I think it's going to come down lower than expected. Okay. Let's not lose sight. It really is about helping good. That's what's important. My oldest daughter is in the medical profession. No, I know. I agree, man. That's why I do what I do. I mean, I could have just done finance, right? But the Excel spreadsheets don't. There's no purpose for that, right? It's just stupid. Okay, so no offense to people that are in finance. I'm sorry for offending anybody. Being a doctor is the best job. That I won't apologize for. Okay, so enter food pick here. Oh, okay. Not talking Cloves IR person needs to go. Needs someone in there telling the story to Wall Street. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna apply for the job. I'm just kidding. I have no time. Not enough time to go in. Yeah, I mean, no, Wall Street's gonna come. Wall Street follows the money. So let's go ahead and stop the sharing of screen here. And let's go ahead and share this again here. And then let's go ahead. So here's, Andrew Toy, beautifully dressed, looks great, surrounded by great people. Here's his testimony. This is his full testimony here. I couldn't find the full one. He posted like a 28-second. Like, come on, man, post the whole video, man. But this is the whole write-up here. I recommend reading it. It's actually good. This was back in 2018. This was basically, I put the link in the chat group, which you can basically find here. And I recommend basically, reading it here because it's going to talk about some things that are applicable to what's happening now. CMS now is taking Clover seriously. They've taken them seriously before, but now they realize that they are working with them. And what does the government like to do? The government likes to take your money, right? No, just go. Sorry, wrong talk. The government likes to increase taxes and take your money, but they also like to, make everyone else not spend, just they spend. So they're looking to cut corners, and Clover is giving them money saving opportunities with over 1,000 basis point in savings for Clover Assistant. So in this, if you read this, you'll say that we will be basically sharing with you how we were able to reduce these costs so other Medicare providers can do the same. Potentially, Clover Assistant may be hired as a dominating factor for, imagine all VAs. Just imagine if all VAs that contracted out for Clover and they're able to use the Clover Assistant. Holy shit, right? So again, there's a lot of opportunity here. Again, speculation, but the big thing here is that we are industry leading we have best industry leading MCRs right now. So with that said, I do believe that in terms of what CNBC was saying, Humana is going to have to either increase the cost of premiums while Clover doesn't, and that's going to cause a shift. And while Humana backs away, Clover's going to double down. Interestingly, one of the healthcare providers sold their Medicare Advantage pile because they knew that they couldn't compete in the sector. So this is going to be good for Clover because a lot of these guys are stepping out. And now Clover is going to be they're going to be able to advance. And the growth side of Clover is going to happen, I believe, when interest rates are cut. So that's kind of my thoughts on the matter. I'm just letting you know that things are changing before our eyes. I don't know if you feel it, but things are changing, and it takes a while for these things to happen. I wasn't expecting prices this low. This was like a gift from God because you're getting prices. You're buying these things at founder levels. You're buying Clover like back in 2015, 2016, 2017 levels because Google, they did a round, and I think in 2018 to 2019 they were like 1.9 billion. So we're getting really cheap prices, guys. This is some really cheap stuff here, right? So this is a pretty good deal here, okay? So that industry leading MCR is over such a tiny market. Clove must advance ASAP, otherwise we continue to be unnoticed. So here's the thing. This 80,000 members that they have utilizing machine learning, they've took those 80,000 with different types of chronic diseases. And I think, I don't have a lot of understanding of AI, but it's more than the general population by one standard deviation, probably two. And maybe on the left side of the standard deviation bell curve from a machine learning expert. But I am involved in projects with AI and using convoluted neural networks. This extraction of 80,000 members, I think they redid the data set to retrain on multiple permutations of different chronic diseases. And I think, I may be wrong, but I think these 80,000 members, I'll give you an example to something that maybe we can relate to. If you were to, like, how when you study for a board question, there's multiple types of students, but let's say there's two different students. One student just looks at the question and the answer, and then they move on to the next question. The other student says, I'm going to go ahead and look at the other answer choices, and I'm going to reinforce why this is not the answer and why this is X, Y, and Z. So let's say there's like 4 or 5 answer choices per question. So student A does 5 questions. They practice 5 different concepts. But let's say, for example, student B went ahead and looked at the 5 questions, but also looked at the 5 explanations. So by the time student, B went ahead, or I forgot what A and B was anyway, but if one of the students went through all those 5 questions with the 5 answer sheets, it's almost like going through 25 questions versus the other student only went through 5 questions. So what I'm basically trying to tell you is Clover has used their data set so much and they retrained it that it represents the general population. And especially if they retrain them on very sick people, that means if they go into marketplaces that are healthy, then they're going to get really good results, even better than that of lower SES places in New Jersey. But I do agree with you. They do need to start growing. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. Alignment Healthcare is a little bit more than them. But again, they focus more on the non-insurance side. So I think now them removing themselves from non-insurance side, they'll be able to double down and continue with that industry leading MCR. It's just, but this is a good thing though, Brad, because check this out. This is a very good thing. Okay. This is very important. Okay. The reason why having them stagnate there, they have a higher probability of increasing their CMS star rating. Remember how Andrew was saying the ACO gave some aberrations that was unpredictable for the CMS ratings? This actually is going to increase star ratings, which then will in turn have them grow ASAP. I hope that makes sense. Al is so I'm not a neurosurgeon yet. I'm a 4th-year medical student. I am going to apply to residency, and I will be a neurosurgery resident. Okay. So want to give me a second opinion on and hook me up with a hematology? I mean, I don't really do. Yeah. So yeah, not financial advice and not healthcare advice, right? I would say consult your family doctor and have them find you a good hematologist oncologist, because I am sure your family doctor is going to know way more than me, knows where you are locally, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And there's like different levels of hematologists, oncologists. There's people that just do breast, people that just do blood, so it gets tricky. So I'd say consult your family doctor, which is what Clover Health is supporting. It's enabling that family doctor to be able to do their job. Right. So there it is. We contacted the whole country. Well, if that was the case, you would have then you would have messaged my brother-in-law. He is he's hemonc, but he specializes, I think, in just the breast. Do you think this will get delisted? If yes, what should we be doing? Okay, Indian Banhu, I'm telling you, we are going to get delisted, I think, by tonight or tomorrow. What we need to do is we need to go to the delisting office, and we need to bake them a piece of cake, and we need to go ahead and give it to them and beg them that please do not delist them. So if you can help me, Indian Banhu, I would like you to you go to Costco and I'll go to Sam's Club, and we'll get some cake, and we'll go to the delisting office, and we're going to go present our case why they should extend Clover Health. What do you think about that? All right. Like I said, if you want to talk about delisting, I recommend going to Micro Badger. He listed a great talk here. Okay. 180 days and then an extension if they want. Right. But yeah, there's your reading there. Right. But I'll meet you at the Costco after I leave Sam's Club. What do you think about that? Okay, so shut up with the delisting. No, he's just Indian Banhu is just being a Banhu, right? He's just trolling. I like turtles. Okay. Okay, and I like the stock, right? All right, let me see here. Can you give me a brain transplant? Shit. Okay, the one I currently have obviously doesn't work, probably because I invested in this company. Nice. Yeah, I think there was a brain transplant before. I think it failed. Maybe someday. No. Well, if Clover ends up failing, I may need that transplant with you. So hopefully we can find a neurosurgeon that might do it. All right. So that's all I have for you guys. Again, Clover is in second place. We're losing in second place. That is great. I think this, if we're losing in second place, that means that next year or when healthcare stocks turn around, Clover shouldn't be in last place going up. Okay. Right. Jumping off content is getting distracted. Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm pretty much about to end it right now. All right. So what about stock split? Indian Banhu. I recommend you reading this. Okay. Because it talks about reverse stock split here. Okay. All right. Yeah. I agree with Brad. I'm out too, guys. I got to get going. I appreciate it, Brad. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Hope this video was helpful, and I will see you on the next one.